Hello, friends.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Hannes.
Give folks a few minutes to join here yet. That sounds yummy.
It looks delicious.
It is cinnamon toast, so Trader Joe's cinnamon bread in a toaster with German rapeseed honey on it, which is a specialty. If you ever go to Germany, you must buy it. Hannes, back me up here.
I don't know. I'm not German.
But don't you live there?
No, I'm in London.
Oh, okay.
Well, I believe you anyway, and I would totally want to have some.
It's super yummy.
All right, I see the one person who I'm especially looking to get some status from has joined, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. It is Friday, September 14th. This is the 112 release Burndown meeting of the day. I'm Tim Pepper, your release lead. This meeting is recorded and will be posted to YouTube, so the world will see our breakfasts. Gwen smirks. I barely just finished my breakfast. Let's see what to say. So still should have a RC on Tuesday. Release target is officially September 25th. I'm starting to particularly worry. We have had a lot of good fixes coming in this week, but we're not seeing those reflected in test status, and am not understanding why entirely. Yesterday we knew we had a few issues, but those being clearly resolved, we're still getting a pretty confused state on things. So continue to draw the line on Monday about delaying the release. We'll see what progress we can make today, and if that progress then turns into visible improvement over the weekend's test runs. Let's see, the main thing that's worrying there then is the underlying provider seems to be being a problem, in as much as we can't see much of anything. We're having slowness, tests running longer than expected, a bunch of things timing out. And it feels like either we've got a hosting issue or else we have an undiagnosed, really major pod scheduling and dispatching issue. I'm inclined to not think that, in as much as we do have lots of other tests elsewhere in TestGrid that are consistently successful. So I don't know, Barney, do you have anything that you've been able to figure out in the last day? Anything that you can share with us? And you're on mute. There you go, maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. Yeah. Hey, we're still trying to figure out what's the root cause. So we were trying to also understand what might be the mitigation. Do we turn off GKE tests as a blocker? Do we remove it from here if you're blocked by this? Or we're trying to understand that, but we don't know yet because the test failures seem to be random, and except for the DNS and a couple of storage-related failures, others seems to be random.
Yeah, it definitely does not feel consistent, and it's that classic inconsistency that makes it really hard to debug. So I'm curious other people's thoughts. I think some GCE things have gotten better, so that's a good sign, but I don't feel like it's completely GKE. We have quite a few things still in GCE that aren't clearing up. Okay. And there I feel like the symptom is pretty much the same as the GKE one in terms of things just kind of failing. Things that should have been running aren't running. Don't know if it's resource starvation or what, but I feel like if we just drop GKE, it's not clear that that's going to be an answer.
Okay, fair enough. All right, fair enough. So we'll continue to debug from our side. But I got a ping. So should we look at the master blocking as well, or just 1.12 blocking?
The master blocking, I would say, is the easier way to go because, so right now, basically daily, we're moving content from master to 112. So focusing on master, if we clear that up, we should be able to propagate the goodness onto the branch as well.
Okay.
Whether it's a KK change or if it's underlying hosts. If it's something underlying, everything should get better, but master is quicker, easier iterating on.
Okay, fair.
All right, so to kind of go through the list then briefly, that DNS config map issue, we believe it's fixed and a number of the things cleared up, but then a few did not also, and I'm trying to understand if those are just stale tests that haven't been replaced by good data. The paint nodes by condition stuff. So there we were waiting on some cherry picks into 111, and that happened last night, but again, test didn't go green, and the failure symptoms on some of these things are trending towards the same failure, just like random failure. So that's again what kind of makes me feel like hosting. So some of these things, we're not seeing the original symptom after the fix, but we're still not getting a green test result. The HPA debugging, as of like an hour ago, Solly thinks he might have a potential fix. So we'll watch that space. That could be a positive change. And then, yeah, the main list of things there to be watching is around GCE and GKE. So I guess that's all I have to say from assessing CI signal report today. I don't know if anybody else has something they'd like to add before we move to issues. Oh, I skipped over scalability. So a bunch changed there yesterday. We believe, based on SIG scalability input, that they've cracked the main scalability issues, but for one remaining thing, and that is with the switch from kubedns to core DNS. Core DNS's pods were being killed. And this is strange because core DNS was generally expected to perform better in terms of its throughput on satisfying requests and do so at a lower memory demand. So that the initial assessment was, oh, we just need to bump up the memory allocation to core DNS is a little worrying. And then SIG scalability really strongly made the call that their preference would be to not use core DNS. So we force merged a patch because we were having trouble even just getting the pre-submit CI to succeed there due to GKE and GCE issues. So that was pushed in. We're expecting to get Monday CI results showing green scalability tests. If so, that at least gives us a basis to move forward on scalability, but it still leaves the core DNS question open. And the core DNS folks and scalability are talking together about how to devise an experiment. If we're needing to delay the release anyway, they could kick off something on Monday, maybe get some data, maybe debug and fix, and still have time for another run to prove greenness again on scalability with core DNS ahead of a delayed release. So things are kind of in flux there, but we're biasing towards proving that we have a stable path forward, even if it's not the sort of preferred one, proving that core DNS works. So we'll see what we have there on Monday. So Gwen, what do we have for new and different issues?
Yeah, this actually ties into most of what I was going to talk about. I just saw that we reverted the core DNS enablement, but it's basically it doesn't fix anything. It's for analysis purposes, which is why all the related issues, which are basically, where is it? 68490 and 68260. They're still open because they're basically related to that feature and and we're still waiting. But people are definitely talking about, yeah, well, maybe this feature is not going to make it into the release, and in that case, those issues would be closed and deferred to 113. There are, in general, I think 4 out of the 7 issues are in danger of being rolled back. So the bug will, the thing that caused the breaking change will be rolled back, and the fix will make it into 113, which is unfortunate, but I'm leaving them open. The only one I'm really worried about is the scalability one, because that's time boxed. But the other ones, I'm just leaving them open because there's an understanding that, well, if it doesn't get fixed, it's not release blocking. That would be 67823. And 68613 is currently also just being reverted and debugged. So if they come up with a fix, great. If not, it's not release blocking. And then I have 2 open PRs that one is really close to closing. It needs an LGTM. The other one, people are still discussing. So if nothing happened by Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to have to come with a ban hammer. And there is one PR that looks like it's an easy fix, and someone said they were going to do it over the weekend. So since, again, it's not release blocking, I'm okay letting it pass.
Which one was that?
That is the one that's currently red because there's no PR on at 64788. That one, yes.
Gotcha, okay. Okay.
So.
All right, we will watch those and see what happens. The list of things we're looking at least is comfortingly short, but the lack of diagnosis on some of the underlying issues is worrying.
What I'm also planning to do later today is go through the open PRs that are bug fixes, and just see what the deal is there. Most of them are related to an issue, but just in case I need to kick something, kick up some dust to get some attention on it.
Yeah, the call on whether they should be release blocking or not, we'll need to have that pretty soon here.
Right.
So in theory, we have next week to settle all of that out, and I think normally the SIGs do a pretty good job of highlighting that, but we'll want to start reminding them next week.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have automation around release blocking? Is there a label?
If I remember correctly, didn't we stop using the release blocker label?
I mean, we removed the bot automation around status, right? So I guess maybe it was a status label at some point.
Really, everything in the milestone should be considered release blocking. So
until declared otherwise,
okay,
yeah.
So people were throwing out around words that didn't mean what they thought they meant. Okay, right. Cool. Yeah, it does feel like to me we need like some sort of in between, I don't know, some sort of in between state, because right now I'm hearing a lot like, yeah, we would like to get this into 112, but it's okay if we don't, which.
So just glancing at what's there for PRs that are labeled release blocker, I think we stopped using it. And there, it would make sense to, since priority critical urgent is one of the metrics that would allow things to merge, to go ahead and, if people are saying that it's not going to be 112 milestone blocking, that we drop priority critical urgent to important soon. And then if the fix is still needed for 112, it'll be a cherry pick back. Okay. Sometime in a patch release in the future.
Cool. So yeah. So I think I'm just running into the gray zone of, we'd really like this in 112. We're okay with it not being in 112, but we think we are really close to a fix, so please leave it in. Which, well, I mean, I'm personally okay with that. I was just wondering if there was some sort of automation, which I don't know. It's like we don't really need it.
We defer to the SIG leadership, and the SIG leadership continues to be able to push things through. So like I just saw a commit on master this morning, and I was like, what is that? If the SIG feels it needs to go in, they have the ability to put it in.
Yep, that's fine. Okay, so basically all we want to make sure is that people don't throw the word, this very critical urgent issue is not release blocking. So that's, yeah. Okay, thanks, Caleb.
All right, briefly, features. as mentioned yesterday or the day before, we're all good there. We've got our list whittled down, although the Core DNS one may drop out yet still. Docs as of yesterday, Zach pinged me, and yay, we have everything. Anything you want to mention there, Zach?
Yay, we have everything. And that's pretty much all I want to mention. I still
Huzzah!
have PRs to fix and clean up and do all that inside of, that's all docs related and all asynchronous for our tasks. So as far as I'm concerned, with the features listed on the spreadsheet, we are good to go. It would be nice to know whether or not Core DNS has to drop out, though, because I'll have to back those commits out of the branch.
Yeah, at this point, the revert is merged, so I would presume that it's dropping, and we won't know whether we potentially have an alternate fix that causes us to not drop it until later next week. So I would at least have PRs ready that drop it.
Okay, sounds good to me.
So Nick, release notes, anything new for today?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to defer to Lindsay, who's been working on a project there. Go ahead, Lindsay, talk to us. You're on mute. Sorry, I dropped this on her. Didn't tell her I was going to do this. She may not be able to get to the mute button. So I will talk until she gets unmuted. So basically, Lindsay put in a fix to our generation routine that will have the release notes and then the SIGs that they come from to make it a bit easier for for us and for the SIG leads to define where these things actually go. So we are going to regenerate the release notes, and we'll go ahead and incorporate any changes that have already been made into that new version. But I think it's going to be much nicer and much better. So there you go.
Okay. And yesterday, once I heard about the Core DNS thing, also I dropped a comment in the Google Doc around the points where that's mentioned, just to give some visibility.
I'm really concerned about this accordion thing. What accordions? Like as in the squeeze box?
Oh, Core DNS. Sorry, I was like, accordion, what? Core
Yeah.
DNS.
All right, I'm concerned about that too, but I'm less concerned about that than accordions. Accordions are the worst.
What do you have against Weird Al? He went to my alma mater. All right. What was that? Nick?
I said there's a claim to fame.
I had no idea he graduated from college.
I don't know that he graduated. I'm not sure about that. All I know is that he attended my alma mater.
He's actually a pretty smart guy. I've actually talked to him in person. He's.
I've heard that from others as well.
He was caught walking around the quad, so he definitely went to my alma mater.
So, all right, features, docs, release notes, communications. Similarly there, Caitlin, I dropped a mention because I had mentioned Core DNS in one of the doc drafts, so I mentioned that, I commented there, and actually we don't have Caitlin today. So I made sure that I propagated the information there that we may have to drop that wording. Yeah, I'm not, okay, so comms was green as of the other day, waiting for word on Monday about release date changes. So that's the end of the agenda. Anything needing discussed today? All right, Barney, if you find anything, hear anything, figure anything out, need any help or anything today, I don't know that I can do as much as your own internal network at Google, assuming we've got issues that are Google specific, but let me know.
Sure.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we will see what we can get for improvements today and what test grid shows us on Monday.
All right.
And remember to avoid accordions.
Have a good one, everybody. Bye.
Bye.